After being reborn, the man was shocked to discover that 40 years ago, crayfish were actually used to feed chickens. Having been through brutal business wars, the man immediately realized this was a money-making opportunity. But in his previous life, he was deceived by his younger brother, becoming nothing more than a tool for the family to make money. He had to work 4 different jobs every day. Soon, his brother used the money his elder brother earned to open a factory. But his brother also lied to him, saying once the factory made money, they would split it evenly. The man believed his brother's words and worked in that factory for 40 years. When he heard the news that the factory was going public, the man went to ask his brother for his share. But instead, his brother's wife, Laura, scolded him and denied any agreement to split the money. The man stumbled back into a pile of feed, injuring his leg, and his brother and Laura, in order not to give him a single cent, just stood there, watching him struggle on the ground. Laura even mocked him, calling him an idiot, because back then, the man had insisted on living with his brother and forced his wife and daughter to serve them like maids. Laura merely lied, saying they had stolen something. The man believed it and cruelly drove the two out of the house, causing them to get into a car accident. When the man finally learned the truth, his heart ached painfully. Just then, more feed came crashing down, burying the man under it. And before he died, the man secretly swore if he could start over, he would never again let his wife and daughter suffer. When the man opened his eyes again, he realized he had returned to 40 years ago while moving feed in the factory. The man immediately threw down the feed, and after warning his brother, he happily rushed back home, wanting to see his wife and daughter. But little did he know, at that very moment, his daughter was being bullied by Laura. Not only did she refuse to give the girl food, but she also ordered her to pour water for her. When his wife stepped forward to defend their daughter, she was scolded by his mother, saying bluntly that she was just a girl and didn't deserve to eat at all. Laura, even angrier, pushed the woman to the ground, causing her to faint right away. Seeing this, Laura still wanted to hit her again, but the man, who had just returned, stopped her in time. Staring at the arrogant Laura in front of him and hearing his mother's biased words, the man immediately overturned the dining table and warned everyone that no one was allowed to bully his wife and daughter again, or they would face his punishment. After saying this, the man took his wife and daughter and returned to his home in the village. Not long after the man left, his brother also came home, anxiously looking for him. The mother looked at her younger son in confusion, but the next second, she heard him say that the factory's machine had broken down, and only his brother knew how to fix it. When the mother and Laura heard this, they were both shocked, eyes wide open, not knowing what to do. Meanwhile, the man had already brought his wife back to the village, but because of long-term malnutrition, his wife fainted again. Seeing the rice jar at home already empty, the man could only go to the river to fish, but when he pulled in the net, there wasn't a single fish. Turning the net over, he realized it had been torn with many holes. The man immediately realized that with a net like this, he could never catch fish. Just when he didn't know what to do, his best friend happened to show up. After hearing there was no food at his house, his friend immediately said he would take him home to get some grain for him. He even took the man's fishing net away for repair. As the two were about to head home, the man noticed the food his friend was about to feed the chickens was actually crayfish. He instantly realized that this was 40 years ago, when no one considered crayfish as food. So this was definitely his chance to make money. But when he returned home, ready to tell his wife the good news, he was shocked to find his daughter injured. When he learned it was because Laura bullied her, he worried she might get an infection overnight, and immediately wanted to take her to the hospital. But his daughter refused, saying she didn't want to waste money at the hospital, and even comforted him not to be upset. The man suddenly realized that last time when his daughter had a fever, it was his refusal to take her to the hospital. But that memory only made the man more determined to take his wife and daughter to the hospital. After treating the wound, the doctor worried it might leave a scar and suggested the man keep her under observation for a few days. But the hospital stay cost at least $50. When his daughter heard this, she immediately wanted her father to take them home, but the man refused, saying firmly they had to stay in the hospital. He then asked his friend to pay the hospital fee first, promising to pay him back once he earned money. After that, the man took his friend to the market, planning to buy some pig liver as bait to catch crayfish, because the man knew that these crayfish, with the right recipe, would taste incredibly delicious. delicious. He immediately took the crayfish he caught to the biggest hotel in town, because he clearly remembered that in his previous life, it was this very hotel that was the first to start selling lobster. But just as the man was about to reach the hotel entrance, he was stopped by his mother and Laura. They bluntly told him to come back with them, pretending to care about him, saying they were worried he wouldn't have enough to eat in the village. In reality, they just wanted him to help them fix the factory's machine. Having lived through the previous life, the man knew exactly what kind of people they were. He immediately refused them, saying bluntly he would never go back with them. So ignoring his mother's pleas, he walked straight into the hotel. Watching the man walk away, Laura blamed everything on his wife, and then dragged his mother to the hospital, intending to teach his wife a lesson. Meanwhile, as soon as the man stepped into the hotel, he was shoved back out by the head chef. Hearing the reason for their refusal, the man immediately realized that 40 years ago, they had no idea how to cook crayfish, so he used a modern recipe to pitch his product to the hotel. The boss took just one bite and immediately decided to pay $200 for the man's crayfish recipe, and promised that from then on, as long as the crayfish came from him, he would buy them at the highest price. Hearing this, the man immediately prepared to return to the hospital to share the good news with his wife. But little did he know, Laura had already taken his mother and brother to the hospital. She immediately started slandering him, claiming he wanted to sell his daughter to buy new machines for the factory. The wife desperately shielded her daughter, but due to malnutrition, she was easily shoved aside by Laura. Seeing them about to take her daughter away, the wife grabbed her daughter back, climbed up onto the window, ready to jump with her. Just at that moment, the man finally returned to the hospital, but when he saw the scene in front of him, he was so shocked, he dropped the food in his hands.